everybody and let them know.
There's not gonna even notice because it's not that bad on the other side. Let's scrape some of it off. All right, yeah, do it over the here. Oh god, that's hot.
Are you cooking?
Yes, I'm fucking cooking. You got a problem?
Oh no, it's about time.
You know what? You know what? Fuck you. All right.
Had to listen to try all weekend.
Sorry.
This meeting is being recorded.
Oh,
You told me you were recording.
yeah, that new. Oh, wow. When did they add that?
Yara.
Yeah. I guess that's a warning to tell everybody that they're being recorded. Maybe something to do with legal? Wow, we haven't done this in a while that we didn't even notice.
I know we really haven't done this in a while because welcome everybody to the great edition on Sunday. You know what it is. It is the 3 Count Podcast debate show, and it seems to be like, Chaz just ducks us left, right, and center. It's the thing that he likes to do most, but it is what it is. Welcome to our show. We are here. It is your man, the boy, the man, the myth, the legend, the greatest of all time. I don't know any other adverbs I can add to this, but it is Clifford Red Dog Miller here with the debate show, and we are going down our roster. Let's welcome everybody in. So you see him down below. He's kind of half seen, half there, half man, half amazing. He's the one who gets paid because even Jesus owes him money. Give it up for the Dark Lord himself, Damien Fatal.
I will collect what I owe, as always. Just remember that.
And, of course, as always, you can see him. He's right next to me in the bandana of camouflage. He is the man who just destroys racist bears and bears who are racist. Give it up for the man himself, Chris Idol.
Always happy to be here.
Always happy to be here. It's cool. We ain't gonna put out business. So
Hold on. Actually, I'm kind of curious about the racist bears. Actually, got a question about that, sir.
Okay, I hopefully I have an answer.
So, when was the last time you encountered a racist bear, and was it Yogi? Suspect about Yogi.
Just sitting out there like, hey, boo boo, you see that man over there? We're gonna go get him.
Well, we never did see Yogi with any bears darker than him, so.
Yeah. See, suspect.
Man, let's just be real, okay? Yogi didn't care about nobody. I've never seen him with Smokey the Bear either, okay? So we just be honest.
No, it's true.
You ever see him with the Coca-Cola Bear? It wasn't a thing. He said, Yogi, polar bears, I ain't trying to hang out with any of them. He's like, they are not as smart as me.
Yeah, exactly.
That is true.
Oh, man. But all right, we have a bunch of debate topics. But first, we got to get into our announcements, guys. So check it out. Now Ancient Ring always has interviews coming out on Tuesdays and Thursdays. I think even this week we have a special one coming out on Wednesdays. And actually, this might be the week that we have. Oh, no, that's going to be in July. You got a special one coming out in July. Just know we have a bunch of interviews that are getting ready to drop. Also, you guys can cop our merch. You guys see it's right there, right underneath me. I don't know. We'll put it like that. Right there. And there's actually another one. So you go to ProWrestlingTees.com/3 Count Podcast, and you guys can check us out and get our merch. Also, you can get my t-shirts right there. You can find those at whatamaneuver.net, as well as you can find Pure Ignorance as well on whatamaneuver.net, so you guys can pick up our stuff there. Also, we got affiliates now, and Chaz wasn't here for this when I got to make this announcement, but you guys will be the first ones to get to hear it. So you guys can actually go to our linktree.com/3 Count Pod, and you can actually check it out. We are now affiliated with the Coldest Water. So if you guys want to, go through, click on the link, and you guys can get a small percentage off at the Coldest Water. So check us out there, as well as Ray's Energy Drink. So make sure you go check us out there. That's right. We are selling out because we want to make money too doing this podcast, and we don't want to work our normal jobs. It is.
That is true. Yeah, no, that's true.
Yeah.
I'm all about the sell out.
Some of us, yeah, I'm all about the money. Let's go. it is what it is at this point, man. It is what it is.
No, it is. No, it is. It is.
So, with that being said, though, we do have some debate topics for you guys. So get ready to check us out. I got to pull up the first one because, sometimes the photos just go away and I don't care for it. So let's get into our first debate topic. Originally, Chaz wanted us to talk about whether wrestling was making its way back to the mainstream. I said, we didn't have any of that. We're going to talk about what happened last night on AEW after the show. Eddie Kingston shot a promo. This was after Jungle Boy and Kenny Omega had their match, in which Eddie Kingston referred to WWE as the competitors and that they don't have the passion, nor do they care about their fans. So the debate topic today is he right? And we'll start with the Idol.
Okay, I think he's wrong about the wrestlers having passion. I think there are plenty of people in the WWE right now that have plenty of passion for what they do. Off the top of my head, two of the top guys, Roman Reigns and Drew McIntyre, I think are two great examples of that. If you watch Talking Smack, you see it every week. How passionate the guys are. There's plenty of people that have passion. And watch NXT on Tuesday. You see plenty of passion on that show. So I think there's plenty of passion. Now, does WWE care about their fans? I think they do. Just maybe not all of them. I know. I think they care about the fans that watch the show, that always watch the show. But I don't know. It's like the people that complain about their show are the people that typically don't watch the show.
Yeah.
Most of the time.
So I feel like they don't care about those people. Does that make sense, Cliff? Like where I'm going with that?
Yeah, I kind of feel like WWE is kind of like, if you're not spending money on our product, we don't really care what you have to say. Like.
Yeah, right. So they're just like, all right, you can say, oh man, WWE doesn't care about the fans. And it's like the fans that feel that way, I feel like are typically the fans that are anti-WWE anyway, in a little bit. So it's like, why would they care about you if you don't like their show? Why are they going to make a show?
What you mean?
Yeah.
They can make a show that the people that already watch are going to continue. I think it's like that.
Yeah, I agree. I think like if you look at shows like on Tuesday with like NXT, you see guys like Carmelo Hayes, or you guys see guys like Ari Sterling, Alexander Zane, for those of you who really just want to talk about the indie scene, and Christian Casanova, if you guys want to talk about how it looks on the Christian. But I think those guys, like the Cruiserweight division, I feel like is a great division at WWE. Like I really do, hands down. I think they show like they have a lot of passion because they really sell into the matches and they make you believe that you want to be a part of that. Now, as far as like some of the guys on the upper echelon, right? Yeah. Maybe sometimes you could tell that they're phoning it in. They're just kind of like, I'm just here. I'm just here so I don't get fined. And then they put on their sunglasses and refuse to take questions from reporters. But it is what it is. I mean, like, I feel like, because even Vince, there was a reports of it earlier this week that Vince McMahon has acknowledged that the product is stale, right? And that they're waiting for fans to show up so they can start giving them like new things to talk about and new people showing up or whatever. Just things just to happen. They were just waiting for the fans at the end of the day. And I think to me, it's very foretelling that they don't care right now. But I feel like there might be like a change in the wind, especially with what happened on Raw this last week, where I actually genuinely thought Raw was a good show. Like I thought Hell in a Cell was okay. I thought Raw was actually, the wrestling aspect of Raw was a really good show. The rest of it I could just like gone away from. And then NXT, of course, always brings the fire. So I think, man, like, I think WWE shows in spurts that they care about their fans, but of course then fans will bitch and want to get a writer fired because they don't know anything about the product.
Right.
What about you, Damien?
All right, so like I said, see, that's kind of like that fine line, like you both said. Like, yeah, they might not care about all the fans, care about like their hardcore fans. That's going to sort, support the product regardless. And then they're investors too, as well. Can't forget that important aspect of the situation. The investors kind of come first, unfortunately. If they don't have the money, they can't, make the product, so to speak. So, I don't know. I'm a dick. I say fuck the fans and continue to do what they do. If you want to keep it real. Make that money last. I got you, my dude.
Well, honestly, Damon, you bring up a really good point that I think a lot of people forget. Like, okay, so AEW, right? They make their money from the fans. Like, that's where all of their money comes from. Because they have to make their audience happy, regardless, right?
Right.
WWE's money doesn't come from the fans anymore. Like, a small portion of it, but most of their money comes from the network.
Yeah,
And
it's
like all
weird
the
too.
other shit that they do.
So like, the people, so like me and you buy a ticket to go to their show. That's a small portion of the money that company makes.
Exactly.
Like you said, it's the network and the investors that they have to make happy, because that's where 90% of the money comes from. Whereas AEW or like Ring of Honor or Impact, their money comes from the fans. If the fans aren't paying, they're not making money. So I think a lot of people forget about that too.
Yeah, well, when you have close to $4 billion invested from 3 deals, yeah, you might want to care about what those people say, but then you got to understand too, like, people won't watch your product. Like, we've kind of noticed that the decline of WWE, like, in their viewerships, right? Like, it's something to bring up, but it's also it's important, but it's not important, right? We got to put it out there. Is that with the decline of viewerships, like, you're not bringing in that money, right? And if you're not bringing in the money, if you're not bringing in the viewers, then advertisers aren't going to pay, so you're not making that money back. Like, WWE could low-key be like, hey, yo, Fox, you already gave us the $1 billion. Fuck off for now. Like, we'll see you. We'll renegotiate this deal in 4 years. But I think ultimately,
they could.
I think ultimately what it is, though, is that you're seeing that people like NBC, people like Fox, people like Saudi Arabia are like investing all this money into the product, but if you don't have people who are watching the product back and you're declining viewerships, like, eventually you're gonna have to make the viewers happy and like help get those guys like get their money back. Otherwise, NBC or Fox is just gonna be like, hey, you know what? We don't need you guys.
But they kind of do that if you really think about it.
Well, here's the flip side of that, though. So even with Raw's extremely declining ratings, it's still by far the most watched show on USA.
You got a point.
Like, that's another thing. So like, even with the rapid decline, they're still so far ahead of everything else that USA's got. That it's like, even though it's not, it's still
popular as it was before.
Yeah, even though it's nowhere near as popular as it was before, it's still so far ahead of everything else on the network that it's almost like there's no real motivation to necessarily make it better.
Yeah.
The lack there of competition is when it comes down to
it's like, so like, if Raw only got 1 million viewers, but let's say the average USA show gets like 300,000, that's still that's still great.
Yeah, that is interesting to that. It's that network because look at SmackDown, right? SmackDown brings in like 2.4, 2.5 million, and they're next to the NFL. They're probably the highest rated thing on Fox.
No, okay, there you go.
And it's a weird thing to think that, like, you are so far ahead of the rest of the competition, like weekly, that you pretty much just command your price. And it's just a weird thing to think. Like WWE is like, hey, yeah, you know, we know we only average 1.7 million viewers, but if you look at Psyched, it only averaged 700,000. So we're still a million above that. Even on their season finale, they're not doing as great as us. Like you're like,
it's
that's
like this
shitty to
weird
say.
spot. But it's like okay, so like, what is the company's motive to really make real change with like Raw? Why? Like where's the motivation other than like,
especially with no fans?
Online? Yeah, especially with us fans. It's just us fans online are saying, "Oh, the show is crap," but you're getting paid an astronomical amount to make the show.
All right, let me read this in from a fan. So,
okay.
Rich says, the problem is that there's a lot of older wrestlers and are still getting a lot of main event matches, while many of the younger NXTers who move to WWE never or very seldom get their opportunities, i.e. Rude, Dillinger, Ricochet, Lee, Black, Joe, Nakamura, Baszler should be or should have been more in the spotlight. Zayn, Cesaro should have title runs, but when you still have Lashley, Orton, and Sheamus, etc., and no talents like Corbin be getting runs, they continue to become stale. I'm gonna be like this. I'm gonna put this out there. Corbin is the best heel on WWE next to Randy Orton. Like on SmackDown, he is the best heel. Like there's just no.
Oh yeah, he's the heel.
There's no looks around it. Next, well, actually, let me back this up.
Somebody to get mutually beat, that's him.
I was like, let me back this up. Next to Roman Reigns on SmackDown, he's the best heel. And then I think from there it's like Zayn and then probably Apollo Crews. Like those four all together. Like, but there's another name right there, Apollo Crews, right? He's going to come up. He's making a come up. Right? He, people like you see Sami Zayn. Sami Zayn's starting to get his rock back on. Seth Rollins is still there, like holding steady. There's a lot of people in there that make the product interesting to watch on the SmackDown side. On Raw side, I mean, it is.
There's a lot of good talent there, but it's stale as fuck.
Yeah, it's like, Bobby. Like that's it.
Okay, but see, all right. So this at the end of the day, right? This is how I feel about it. And this goes, if you really think about it, this is kind of like how it is in wrestling in general. When you have your mainstays, when you have your veterans, they're always 90% of the time are at the top of the card. They're the ones that are getting the shot. That's just the way that wrestling is. You go to your go-to guy. You go to your solid guy, the guy that you know is going to get the motherfucking job done and put asses in seats, like it or not. So all the fans out there that is bitching about it, do your homework on wrestling and realize that this is the way that it's been. Period. It's even like that in Planned Parenthood. Like it or not. Like it or not. It don't matter.